Assalamu alaikum everyone, welcome back to the Bonk update today. I know that yesterday the Bonk started pumping up again and people were like, oh no, it's totally wrong prediction. I don't even know where my prediction was really wrong though, but fine, trolls are everywhere. The thing is that if I remember correctly, I said that if we break down, we go for the retest, and that's the technical target to go down. Now, first of all, you didn't even break down to go lower. You didn't retest to do anything. And still I'm wrong? How? How can you be wrong when your scenarios are still not even playing out? But anyways, this was a support line. You bounced off the support anyways, right? So you came here. This is a head and shoulders, right? But a head and shoulders is never going to play out if you're not going to break the neckline and retest and go down. It's never going to play out. Simple, right? So bit of manipulation again. You pumped up here, and we never took the trade anyways, right? And that's the reason why I never even traded it at all. Even though you have a head and shoulder, I never even took any trade here. I never shorted Bonk. Now, however, these are manipulation on the smaller time frame, right? So manipulation number one is head and shoulder that didn't break down. A newbie, especially someone inexperienced, is definitely going to short it. You're not going to wait, because the recommended thing is to wait for the break, retest, enter the retest, right? So just because you have a head and shoulder doesn't mean you have to start to short the market at all. You have to wait for further breakdowns and retests and whatnot. Now, so that head and shoulder, I wouldn't even say it's manipulation. It never just really broke the neckline for you to short the market, right? Eventually you broke out of it. Now you see this trend line. This is manipulation number two, and then you broke above the trend line here, and now you're again below the trend line, and it could be possible to start to go to the downside. However, the 15 minutes time frame is heavily manipulated because it's a smaller time frame right now. What you really have to understand is that, I've even said this in a couple of videos before, the main trade for Bonk is on the daily time frame. Simple as that. The main trade is right in here, and maybe, just maybe, this could be the right time to enter. And for me personally, if someone is looking for that entry, the main stop loss here on the daily is probably going to be at 28.73. I think 28.73 or something like that. If you break above here, amazing. You could do something where you're breaking that supply zone right over here, because that's the supply zone, still a resistance, and then you break out of it, you break the supply, retest the supply one more time, go back to 24.37, and then you could actually start to fly and move to the upside. Of course, if you just don't get manipulation and start to go down one more time. So basically, that is all that I do see for Bonk right now. Perhaps this still is an entry, but the thing is that this is a huge stop. All right, this is going to be 10% stop loss. That's a very, very big risk to take anyways. But if someone is crazy enough to try it out, I don't know. That is definitely up to you. There is even one more food of thought where you have this trend line coming up as well, something like this, and it could be possible to even touch 28.73 and still get rejection and actually fall down even lower. But we're going to look at that. This is not a very strong opinion, but to me personally, come up to 28.73, retest again, retest a little bit, turn that supply zone to demand box or support zone, and then eventually you start to go back up again. That would be the most ideal scenario to trade. But I think from here you have some solid chances to go down, because remember, that's just pretty much the same place where you dumped over here, and that was also pretty much the same place you dumped right over here. So it is still at the very same price where a chance of going down can happen. Okay, on the smaller time frame, however, there's always a chance to be manipulated, and that's why it's just not recommended to trade 5 minutes and 1 minute time frame and whatnot. But right now, let's say in the next 9 hours 23 minutes, you end up closing this as a doji, right? This one becomes a spinning top right over here. There could be a chance that this is the final spinning top before you actually even go down. You never know, right? You never really know. It is becoming a little bit tough. But then again, if the market becomes bullish, let's actually entertain the bullish scenarios now, then you could do something where you totally come up to 2873, continue on with the uptrend, retest this, then the idea to go down becomes invalidated. Right now it is not invalidated, right? You still are kissing resistance. That's just what it is. And if you break it, however, then your next technical targets are going to be up to this new area right over here at 3800 as your next technical target, of course, if you get more bullish. So that's all for the video, and I'm going to see you in the next one. Love.